Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this super pretty satin hair bow using the heat sealing tool and metal rollers. This is just for visuals, but we will be using a slightly longer one. So I'm just going to move my wood burning tool slightly out of the way, but I just wanted to show you this. And the tip that I have to cut and seal is this angled version. You normally get one with your tool. You get this version, which is a slightly smaller one, and then a slightly wider one, just a little bit wider, but they're both perfect for this one. And they normally come with like a set of 5 that you get with the actual tool. And I'll show you that I've got a different video showing you how to swap them out if you don't have the right one on straight away. So this is the bow. It's quite a long bow. It measures almost 14 inches long and 6.5 inches wide. So like I said, it is a really big pretty bow, and all of my edges have been sealed with the heat sealing tool. Now, to save time and energy, because it takes a lot of work to show you how to do all of this and cut everything nicely on camera, I have already cut all of mine and sealed most of it. So this is a triangle. To get the right size that we need, I started off with an 18-inch square, and then what I did is I heat sealed all of my edges. So I took my ruler and I took the tool and I did nice straight lines all the way across and did all of them. And then once I'd done all of my edges, I took it, laid my ruler across corner to corner, and again sealed that all the way across the triangle. And then you get this, which is what gives you your area for your tails. And then I cut 2 other pieces, and these are 4.5 inches wide, both of them. Well, one's 4.5 inches, so the long one's 4.5 and the short is 4. And this one is 13, or just over 13 inches long, 13.5 about. And this one is 12, 13, well 15.5. But I'll put the measurements in the description, and I am using Duchess satin for this, which is a really great value fabric, but it is very cost effective. I think it works out less than like £2.50 to £3.50 for a full metre of fabric, and you can typically make, for these larger ones with the tails and everything else, because for each square you get 2 sets of tails, you can normally make between sort of 6 and 8 bows. So like I said, it does work out good value of money. It's sometimes a little bit less than that, depends on how well you cut and get things sorted out and things like this. But the first thing that I do, because I hate how creased satin comes, I have these GHD hair straighteners. I use these ones purely for my bow making, so they are clean and sterile because I don't use them on my actual hair. And what I do is I just gently smooth over. I don't like tighten it on there, like I don't hold it down. I just literally barely even clamp it. I don't even clamp it along, but I just give it a little smooth over so I don't have creases. And with the tails, to help us with our pinching in a minute and to make sure that we've got a nice square triangle, so it's an actual triangle, is on this side where we're going to do our pinches a little bit later on in the tutorial. I'm going to take it and we are just going to go along and it'll just make pinching easier later. And as you can see, this is a bit creased as well. And when you're working with this satin, when you're finishing the bow, you want to make sure that this shiny side is the one that is on the outside. You don't want like the duller bit this side showing anywhere. It makes the bow look unfinished, and obviously that's the back of the fabric. So we have done those. And what I do with my board, because I have this cutting board, and you do need glass cutting board and you do need metal rollers to use with this, otherwise it won't work. So with this, like I said, I have gone down and I've got just a little bit of a snag there, so I'm just going to show you here because I've got a little bit of a catch there. So I'm just going to take care of that, because that normally means that with my dyspraxia that I've had a little slip and sort of miscaught somewhere. There we go, that's better. So basically I've used my board to make sure I've got the right size, so I use the edge to get a clean line to make sure it's the right width when I'm measuring. And like I said, the bottom layer is a little bit longer than the top layer. Now to seal these and get these all nicely done and show you how to actually seal, for the top parts of the bow, I take the longer piece, fold it in half on the board and line that up with a square. Make sure it's fully lined up. And fully lined up with a square line to make sure I've done straight, because that's an issue I have problems with. If I don't get it straight, it gives you sloppy bows, and I do not make sloppy bows. Because I have this thing, anyone can make a hair bow, but not everyone can make a professional looking sellable hair bow every time. There's a difference. And if you are making these to sell, that's how you have to show the difference between standing out and why they're paying for your quality, not just paying for a bow, if that makes sense. And again, I'm just lining this up. And this is a slightly smaller piece. And I just go through just a couple of times with the knife edge blade. And I always do my tool on the hottest temperature. Didn't want to cut today. Always the case when I'm doing tutorials. So now I've got these two pieces, and as you can see, we did it on the inside of the backing. And I'm also going to take them, make sure I didn't drop my glue gun there. And then drop my glue gun and my backup wood burning tool, which is typical of me. Can you tell I don't edit my videos very much? But we've got those two done now. So I've done with the hair straighteners. So I am going to throw them out of the way so I don't knock those and anything else out of the way. So once we've got those two bits, we can now turn these the right way. There we go. And then what I do is, where we've done the crease and the seal, I line them up because it gives you a really nice centre, and it helps you get your pinches and everything in nicely in a minute. So I'm just going to use these two clips. And these ones are double-pronged curling clips. And I typically only use them for holding ribbon and satin and seat sealing bows and things like this. Don't use them for actually on the back of my hair bows. I use traditional alligator clips like this. God damn it. And you do have to be extremely careful, because I will show you that has got two little bits here, and I have just snagged that bow because I was too aggressive with removing my clips, and I've just snagged my satin. Hopefully, yes, it's only on one side, and we'll do that at the back. It's okay, we can save it. You see, the other point of me being a clumsy crafter is I can also show you how to fix things when you do mess up occasionally because it happens. Now on the top one, I like to do 3 pinches. So when I'm doing 3 pinches, we fold it back like this and pinch with our thumb in the middle, and then we take our fabric, and you want to go back against your thumb like that, and then turn it over. Gently take the clip out and don't pull it, as we just learnt. Go back and then go down, and what you should have is 3 even creases at the front and at the back, and it's all still lined up. And then I put my clip over the line here because that is still the centre, and then with the wood burning tool at an angle, go down until you see the other side. We're going to put that to one side for a moment. Now on this one, we're going to be very careful with our clips. We're not going to pull them out, throw the bow about again, so we don't get any more snags like this one, because the only problem with the satin is it is very delicate. So do take that into consideration. And what I'm going to do with this one is I am going to do this slightly differently, and I am going to gather it. So what you want to do is you want 4 even pinches like this. Make sure all your creases are all lined up again, because satin is very slippy. So make sure it's all aligned like that, and that will give you 4 on the bottom. So you'll have like 2 dips on either side, like that. Well, almost 3 on this one. There we go, that's better. Angle it so it's in the line, and again we're gonna go all the way through, and that will be the bottom, and that will be the top, and then we're going to take our triangle, move them out of the way in a minute. Again, we've got our nice clear crease line, and we're going to do like 1 centimetre up, and we're just going to keep gathering roughly, keep gathering up to that same point, so it gives you the same sort of height each gather. If that makes any sense at all to anyone other than myself. Some people only gather a specific amount. I like to do as many creases as the fabric allows. What you want to do is make sure your last one is always on the downward stroke, and then what I do is hold this very tightly so your gather doesn't move, and again clip it, and you want to be holding this part super tightly, because otherwise this all pops out and it won't go all the way through, and you'll miss a bit and miss a layer, and it will just make your gather go horribly wrong and look horrific. Again, all the way through. And this is basically melting the fabric together. And then we are going to take this. If you ever get this where your clips sort of like this, push it up, then push it back. So push it forward, pull it back, but make sure you open your clip and you don't pull it against your fabric, because like I said, we don't want another snaggy snag anywhere, because as you can see, you can't see it now. And then this is where your glue gun comes in, and I have mine, and all I'm going to do, put a tiny bit of glue across there on the bigger one. We're going to take our smaller one, place that directly on the top. We're going to do the same thing with our clippy clip. Like I said, pull that off. don't go overboard on the glue, but put enough on there. And you want to glue that to your larger, well, sort of in the middle of the two, like that. And then I've got this alligator clip, which is for this one going to be 2¼ or 6mm long. And I've also got this piece here. And again, we want to make sure that we've got the interface backing side in. And I'm going to heat seal this edge because that one's frayed and we don't want any fraying on the bow. And this will also show you nicely how it's done on the main fabric form. We're like heat sealing the whole thing. Basically do this. There we go. And this bit is basically 6 inches by about 3.5 or 3 and a little bit. And we're going to roll it into a tube and help you stay everything in line and keep everything in place. You can do this step or you can skip it. It depends on what makes it easier for you to hold when you're making your knot. One end, flip it over. Keep your tube as even as possible. Look how clean the seals are. And then what I do is take this round and make like a fishy shape. And then you pull this through and hold this side. Satin does make everything a little bit trickier. Take that into consideration when you do it and stuff. Right, so you pull that through until you get a nice scrunchy, what I call a scrunchy knot rather than a peaked knot, like this. And then you take that round your centre. And make sure to keep all your other bow bits, so your tails, all your other bow bits backwards, because you don't want to be heat sealing any of that into your centre. Take your metal ruler again. There's a reason why I always have about 10 on my desk at any one given time. Line it up. Like I said, make sure everything is behind the ruler. Then take your heat sealing tool. Be careful of your own fingers as well, because I do regularly burn myself on these. The less naturally clumsy you are, the less likely you are to damage yourself, but it does happen sometimes. And we basically seal that bit there. And then we fluff everything up. And then with our alligator clip, we can pop that through. Like so. And then what I do as well, for security, add a little bit of glue there. And a tiny little bit of glue there, just to fully hold the clip in place. And then you can turn it over. Give everything a fluff, as I said. And you have got your really pretty layered No Sew Satin Hairbow.